My best bet, the Buffalo Bills plus the 2 points. And I agree with the market that the Bills are the better team.
Obviously, you just picked them.
Yeah, this is a team that has been absolutely dominant over the last year. And you're talking about teams, scoring 40
Dominant
points.
over the last year? Against who?
Over this season.
All right, when you're saying last year, you mean this season?
This season,
Okay.
over the course of the year. And
well, it's a season, not a year, because the year goes back to the playoffs last year when they got whooped by KC.
They did get whooped by KC. I think going back to Kansas City early this season got that monkey off their back in a game that they hammered the Chiefs.
Stop. If they lose, if the Bills lose, are they going to say, yep, we split. We wish we won both, but we split. We're fine.
No.
So the monkey's not off their back. If they didn't play them, it'd be off their back. But now, if they lose, they lose. So the pressure's on like no one's business. In fact, that was my case with Colin. I think he's right. The press, the media is going to be on Rodgers the most if he loses. But I think the team that's going to be most on themselves will be the Bills if they lose. Because the Bills had the whole offseason with one goal, to beat KC. And they did it once, and they thought, we're fine. But now they got to play them again. And I'm not saying they're not going to win, but I don't think there's a lack of pressure right now.
I agree, and I think the same thing could have been said last week against the Patriots, because at that point a split wasn't good enough, and they went out and they made an example of the Patriots.
But if only you took the best performance from last week and bet them this week, if that was the way to win, Barney at the bar would be winning a lot of money.
Chiefs coming off a pretty good performance themselves, but I still
they were down 7-0 with like 25 minutes into the game.
You always say, did they beat expectation? They clearly beat expectation.
Yeah, but what I'm saying was it wasn't a great. If anything, they won big, but also had some takeaways to say stay focused.
The Bills clearly had no takeaways to say keep focused. They
what's your analysis
dominate
on this game?
My analysis is, like I said at the beginning, the Bills are a better team right now. They've got the better quarterback right now. The defense that's improved over the course of the season for the Chiefs is still a below-average defense, and we just saw the Bills carve up Bill Belichick's defense, which was a top-5 defense in the league. I think defensively, the Bills continue to be underrated by most people. I think they're a top 5, top 10 unit. The stats say they're number one.
I'm confused. Why hasn't this been like your bet? I mean, what do you think the line should be? Because what you're saying is it sounds like that the Bills are 7 or 10 points better. So
I mean, no.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm confused
You're asking
about.
me for my best bet. Of course, I'm confident that they're better.
But what I'm saying is that I got to understand why they're better. Meaning, you're saying I think they're. I mean, like you're stating the conclusion as evidence, right? Like I'll give you my pick right now. My pick is I like over in this game. All right, and here's why. I think there's a sense that KC's defense has improved. And there's a sense that Buffalo has a good defense. I don't think either are true. I think KC's defense really is susceptible against a good offense, and obviously the Bills are that. And then let's look at the Bills for a second and say, well, who have they really played offensively? Because we know New England, a good team, but not a powerhouse on offense. So that's been 2 of the games recently that's been most important. As we go through the rest of the games, I flipped the schedule over 4 times to get the Bills. Okay, there's only 2 sides of it. That's kind of weird. If you look at the end, they played now against the Colts. Now, this is since their bye. They played Miami. They played Jacksonville. And Miami during the losing streak, all right? Jets next. Then the Colts, right? But they put up 41, the Colts did. I mean, an embarrassment. Then against the Saints with no quarterback, all right? The win game, Tampa Bay puts up 33. Against them. Oh, my gosh. Carolina, New England on offense, Atlanta Jets. So they played 2 games that mattered, and they gave up like inordinate points in both games and lost both games. So now that, to me, is a thesis. The thesis is the weak strength of schedule made Buffalo's offense or defense look better than it is. The offense, even with a weak strength of schedule, has been amazing. And the New England games, the key games for them have been where they have a good defense, so the offense looked good for Buffalo. But the New England offense isn't all that good, so the defense doesn't really tell us much for Buffalo. Thus, I like the over. So let's do this.
You do agree that the defensive advantage is with Buffalo in this game?
Maybe a smidge. I don't know.
A smidge.
I don't know. But why do you think this line? I mean, KC's favored, right?
I do realize Casey's favored.
So you're making. I mean, this line is saying they're a half.
Casey's
point.
been to 3 straight AFC Championship games.
Okay, but I mean,
at some point the baton gets passed.
Steelers were 11. But what I'm saying is, you're saying the market is just like thinking about 3 years ago.
I mean, I think the market was thinking about 3 years ago with Belichick last week.
Well, I mean, the game was bet up to like 5, wasn't it? The game got, I mean, by game day, it was a clear statement that Bills were going to win. So, no, the market was right on. What'd you think? The line should have been 28?
No.
Okay, let's do this. I'm going to let AJ have a minute or so of silent time to think up one last point on his best bet. All right, did you come up with anything?
The first game obviously, Josh Allen's coming off his best game of the season in that playoff game against the Pats. His best game before that point was against the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Chiefs defense, while they got better in the middle of the season, Week 17, Joe Burrow absolutely torched that defense. 444 yards, 4 touchdowns. I think the Chiefs defense is in for a rude awakening against Josh Allen in this game.
Okay, so I actually like the Bills coming into your analysis. I'm not sure who I like at this point. Because all joking aside, the fact that such a predominant amount of it is what Barney at the bar is going to think. Because look how good the Bills looked. I don't know. But officially now, you've got the Bills as your best bet.
Bills +2 is best bet.
I've got over 54. Over 54.